Okay, guys, Jackie M here, and welcome to my daily live broadcast. And if you missed yesterday's broadcast, it's kind of too bad because we didn't save the replay because there was some technical issues with the audio. Nothing to do with the microphone, but it's just the cable connected to the microphone was damaged, which is why there was a bit of static, and I figured it wasn't worth saving. But goes to show you need to catch my daily live broadcast run on weekdays, Australia time, Sydney time. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jackie M, and I've got Noah, my son, sitting here off camera. Noah is my 4-year-old Down syndrome son, and he's hungry for dinner, which is why he's he's moaning a little bit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a former Malaysian restaurateur, born in Malaysia, based in Sydney, Australia. And I used to own a restaurant. And basically what I do nowadays is show people how to, basically my aim here is to demystify Asian cooking for you, okay? And today what I'm doing is just a simple noodle dish. It's going to be Noah's dinner. And I just want to talk a little bit about noodles as well while I'm doing this. I put it down as a 10-minute noodle dish. It may take me a little bit longer just because I'm rambling on as I go, okay? And before I go on any further, I just want to give a quick shout out to Lenovo Australia for the laptop that I use for my live broadcast, and from which I run my, I manage my connections as well, okay? And also to Rode microphones for the microphones I use for my broadcast, okay? Noah, come and say hello. And this is Noah, my son, and I've just come back from a long day and a lot of driving, which is why he's cranky, and I am going to quickly whip up some noodles for him. So Noah, you sit over here. Let me give you some drink. Here we go. Good boy. Okay, that sorted him out. Okay, so now I've done variations of this dish before, but I just wanted to show you basically cooking it in an electric frying pan, and today I'm using a Sunbeam electric pan fryer, and it's a great product. Keep an eye out for it if you're doing some Christmas shopping. I've used it for a lot of my stir fries because it gets up to very high heat and it stays, it maintains the heat well as well. Just give me a second. I just want to make sure that all this is being shared across. And if you've got any questions at all, don't forget to hit me up either on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/JackieM, JACKIEM, okay? And if you subscribe to my channel, to my website, which is jackiem.com.au, you'll get emails. Okay, that's strange. Can you hear me okay at all? Okay, just let me try. Okay, I'm told there's no video, but just give me a second. I'll just quickly check. Just give me a second. You guys, can you just let me know if you've got any trouble hearing me? And I'm just going to check here in the meantime, okay? Okay, I don't know if it's just the viewer, but just let me check this out. I'm just going to share the link, so just bear with me quickly. Okay, apparently it's working now. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to, now this dish is very, very simple. I'm going to go a little bit fancy with it simply because I have the ingredients here in my fridge, but you don't need any of the fancy ingredients if you don't have them. Primarily, the ingredients you need are oyster sauce. Okay, this is oyster sauce, and ginger, which I've cut into chunks here, and garlic cloves. Okay, and I'm going to show you what to do with the garlic. I'm just heating up the pan right now. Okay, I'm trying to rush this through a little bit simply because, like I said, Noah's just mumbling here because he's hungry. Okay, now, and ginger and shallot noodles. I've got some shallots or green onions, as some of you might recognize them as, okay? So they've just been cut into 2-inch lengths over here. And the garlic, I'm just going to now, I'm using whole garlic cloves that have been peeled, right? You can buy, certainly here in Australia, you can buy peeled garlic cloves. What I'm going to do is just kind of like use the my cleaver here to flatten it a little bit, just so that the flavors can come out. Okay, I'm using a fair bit of garlic. I like a lot of garlic in my cooking. Okay, and I usually would use more, but I'll probably stop at about 8 cloves of garlic here. So this is heating up. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because it's on maximum, and it's just starting to smoke here. Now, of course, you can use a wok for this dish, which is how I usually would cook it, but I've got, like I said, I've come into possession of this Sunbeam electric fryer recently. I know a lot of people do electric fryer. I just want to show you the possibilities of using non-Asian cooking implements for Asian dishes. Okay, so I'm throwing this in, and the other thing I'm going to throw in is the ginger. Okay, so these ginger chunks are just, cut into chunks basically. You can slice them up if you want, but this is all I do with it. I just want to saute this a little bit just to bring out the flavors of the garlic. And in the meantime, right now, you can use just straight out water. Like I said, I'm just being a little bit extravagant because I've got some ingredients which I'll talk to you a little bit about as I go along. But I've got this here. This is a permanent feature in my fridge, right? And I'm going to come up close and show you. Just give me a second. And okay, so you can see it. It looks like an orange paste with a layer of oil on top of it. And I'm going to spoon some of this paste in here. And I'm going to pour some boiling water into it, some boiled water from my kettle into it. And what this is actually instant homemade prawn stock base, okay? And I think I might have mentioned this in one of my past broadcasts. I do a lot of broadcasts, guys, so I don't always use YouTube for my broadcasts. Sometimes I might use Periscope. I might broadcast directly onto Facebook. So make sure you follow me to catch them all. Okay. So this is some water that I've added into this, and like I said, the prawn paste is actually made from prawn shells and prawn heads, okay? I go through quite a bit of prawns in my personal consumption and for my business. So what I do, I save the shells, I saute them in some oil with garlic, actually. So I'm only actually technically putting garlic in here to show you guys how the original recipe would be if you weren't using that, right? So technically, I don't actually even need to add the garlic cloves because there's garlic in my prawn paste. So this prawn shells plus garlic that's been sauteed and then blended, right, to a paste using my Optimum Thermocook or my Thermomix. And once it's been blended, I store them like this. And basically, by adding water to it, I'm reconstituting this into a prawn stock, right? But like I said, if you don't have it, don't worry, just use water. I've turned this down right down to the middle. I'm going to crank this back up. Now, keep in mind, this is actually prawn shells, right? Basically, ground prawn shells. You're going to have some residual prawn bits at the bottom, so you'll want to strain this into this dish. Now, this is sauteing. That was cranky, so I'm going to try and make this fast. Now you want to add some oyster sauce in this. And if you, like I said, if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jackie, and I've covered, I've done a 30-day, 30 Asian ingredient series on Periscope. Some of the videos I've uploaded into a playlist on my YouTube channel. So I'm hoping that the video covering oyster sauce might be up there. I didn't upload all of them because not all of them were good enough quality. Technically, right? So this is just heating up, and I'm just going to crank this up a little bit. Now, you can get a little bit fancy again. You can add some Chinese rice wine, cooking wine in here. I'm going to leave it out today. So this is just sauteing. And what you want to do, you want a pinch of sugar and a pinch of chicken stock granules. I'll just grab them now. Okay, so first of all, I've got like about a tablespoon of oyster sauce in here. And if you go Asian shopping, this particular brand is Lee Kum Kee. It says Panda brand. It's one of the more popular ones that you can pick up in Australia and also in the US. You can probably find them in the UK as well. Different brands of oyster sauce, different brands of all Asian ingredients have their own you know, they'll taste a little bit different. Okay, so you do have to adjust your recipes depending on the brand that you're using, and really, it's the only way you can learn this is by trial and error, and by subscribing to my website, which is jackiem.com.au, because I'm actually in the process of preparing a fairly extensive spreadsheet covering all kinds of Asian ingredients, where you can buy them, what my comments are about them, right? Basically, whether this one's more salty and useless, this one's more concentrated or whatever. So those are the kind of comments I will have in that spreadsheet, which I'll send out to my subscribers once I've actually done a bit more work on them. So keep an eye out for that. I'm just going to get a strainer, so bear with me for a second. So you're bringing out the flavors of the garlic in here. Now I'm going to strain the prawn stock in here, okay? So next time you have some prawns lying around, don't throw out the shell, okay? And this is basically the residual ground prawn shells in there. Because I waste not, want not, right? Okay, so this is simmering, and I'm going to add some flavorings in there. But in the meantime, I've got the noodles ready here. I'm going to hold this up and show you what these noodles look like. I'm not going to do a series covering noodles, but this is what it looks like. And it looks like a big cake, okay, big round cake. You can find them at Asian grocery stores. You may have to look for them a little bit. But in Chinese and Cantonese, it's called yimi, right? And what it is basically pre-fried, and usually they suggest that you actually soak this in hot water before you use it. I'm going to use it direct because what's special about these noodles is the fact that they are porous because they've been deep fried. The way they're manufactured, right, the ingredients actually contain baking powder and bicarb soda, so so that they will actually expand when you fry them. So these have been fried up for you. So if you were to if you couldn't find this, you can use any kind of noodles. But if you were to buy your regular Hokkien noodles or whatever and deep fry them, they won't expand like these, right? So the fact that they are deep fried and the fact that they are expanded means that they're porous. So these noodles will absorb all the sauce from your dish, okay? So that's the point of difference between using these noodles and other noodles. They're very, very absorbent. And usually you will actually use these noodles in, if you were eating a crab with ginger and shallots, okay? Especially at Cantonese restaurants. You order a crab with ginger and shallots and you ask for noodles to be added, they'll charge you an extra $8 or $10 here in Sydney, Australia. And they'll basically throw in one cake of these, okay, which costs, a pack of these, I think from memory costs maybe $2. So each cake of noodles will cost about $1, okay? So I've got about $1 worth of noodles in here. I'm just gonna mix this in, and now I'm gonna add some seasoning to it. So there's some saltiness and a little bit of sweetness in the oyster sauce, because oyster sauce usually contains very little actual oysters, but also it contains some salt and some sugar, okay? So I'm just going to taste test this, and then I'm going to adjust the flavors by adding some chicken powder. Okay, so it tastes very prawny at the moment. Like I said, you can just use water. If I didn't have any prawn stock lying around, I would actually put some water in this. So I'll put in about a teaspoon of chicken stock granules, and I generally like to, and I'm going to add just a tiny pinch of sugar, right? You can leave it out, but to me it just helps balance out the flavor a little bit. So just a pinch of sugar. And the other thing I'm going to add, which I should have added before, are the shallots, okay? So I'm just going to throw the shallots in with some Chinese greens as well, which I've chopped up just to add some color to this. Noah probably won't eat the Chinese greens. We'll go for the noodles. He's a big noodle eater. So I'm just mixing this together. Now, this is going to soak up a lot of the sauce, but if you want a thicker sauce, right, I'm just going to cover this so that the veggies cook up evenly. And I'm just going to talk about the veggies as well while I'm at it. Just let me put this away. Okay, so now if you want a thicker sauce, right, you can actually thicken up the sauce by using what we call a slurry mixture, which is essentially tapioca starch or tapioca flour, or you can use cornstarch as well. So what you want is a little bit of that. Where am I going to put it? Okay, I'm just going to put it's about a teaspoon of tapioca starch here. Like I say, the sauce is going to actually continue to be soaked up by the noodles, but I want to thicken it up so that you have like a nice gravy type sauce, right? As opposed to just basically a soup. So I'm just mixing this up with a couple of tablespoons of water. Let's open this up, check how it's going. Now, if I were using more, if I were cooking a bigger batch, I would actually, when I threw in the Chinese greens and I'm using choy sum over here, I would actually want to add the stems first before I add the leaves, okay? But like I said, I'm just kind of zooming through this quickly. So I've just added the tapioca starch, and I hope you can see it's just starting to thicken up very, very quickly, okay? Okay, I'm just going to try the noodles to make sure they're soft enough. If they're not, you can add a bit more water and let it simmer till it's the right consistency. Okay, the flavor's fine. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit more water to it because it seems to me that the noodles could use a little bit more simmering. Okay, so just let this mix around a little bit more. Cover it some more. Now, if you wanted to use chicken stock, if you've got some like unflavored, unseasoned chicken stock, you can as well. I actually meant to do that because I've got some chicken stock sitting here. I forgot to put it in. But like I said, if you didn't have any stock lying around, just use water, that's fine, and then flavor it with, you can use a bit of salt, a bit of sugar, but usually in place of salt, I like to use chicken powder. You know me from my cooking experiments, I use the chicken powder quite a lot. This particular brand is Knorr, K-N-O-R-R. Some people have an aversion to using seasoning, but it's essentially like using chicken stock cubes, right? So this is it. Just let me turn it back up a little bit more. And just make sure everything is okay. If you've got any questions, if I don't get to it now, because I'm using a YouTube Live at the moment and I can't always see the comments right away, I will try and get to them either after the broadcast or during my next broadcast. Okay. A little bit more water because it's still a little bit stringy. Okay. But the simmering process will help bring out the flavor of the ginger and the garlic as well. Just put this away. So I'm going to cover all these different types of noodles a bit more extensively in a separate series, so keep an eye out for them. By the way, if you've got any questions about different recipes, hit me up as well. And also, by all means, comment and let me know what you'd like to see in my future broadcasts, because I'm doing these on a daily basis. I've got, I've got a fair bit of content that that I've got to cover. Okay, that I can cover. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I'm just going to turn this off and dish it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to use a big pan. So this is basically $1 worth of noodles, right? Plus seasoning. Let me just wipe this down a little bit. And Voila. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's the ginger and shallot noodles. Okay. Usually I do cook this with seafood. So if you've got chicken, you got some seafood or whatever, you could actually add them in during the simmering process as well, and that will give you a more lavish dish. But like I said, this is for Noah, and all he needs are noodles. Okay, so this is good enough. So 10-minute yi mein dish, very, very easy, using ginger and shallots. So next time you go Asian grocery shopping, like I say, make sure you have some garlic lying around and some shallots or green onions are handy as well, and some ginger. Okay, make sure you stock up on those, and I will catch you tomorrow in my next broadcast. Thank you, guys.